The 1-2-1s. This is 16 WAPT News at 10.
A college killing. One professor gunned down, another suspected in 2 murders. Delta State locked down as students run for cover. What we're learning about that suspect and the victims.
Ethan was very strong, real smart. I still can't believe I'm saying was.
Tonight, the manhunt for suspected killer Shannon Lamb. Right now, Delta State is still on lockdown after a campus shooting.
Authorities are on a manhunt for the gunman who shot and killed a university professor. They've identified Shannon Lamb as the suspect. Let's get straight to 16 WAPT's Ross Adams, who is live at Delta State Forest. Ross.
Monday morning classes on the campus of Delta State University interrupted by the sound of gunfire.
Approximately 10:18 a.m., the Delta State University Police Department received a call of shots fired in Jobe Hall.
Responding officers found the body of assistant history professor Ethan Schmidt, shot dead in his campus office in Jobe Hall.
We lost one of our beloved professors today, was Dr. Ethan Schmidt, and we are grieving on this campus for his loss, and our condolences are with his family at this time.
Police say the suspect in Schmidt's shooting, Shannon Lamb, another Delta State professor.
We identified him as a person of interest. At this time, we're going to upgrade him to a suspect.
Police say Shannon is suspected of killing a woman he lived with in the city of Gaucher, 300 miles south of Cleveland. After the shots were fired, Delta State issued an active shooter alert and the campus went on a day-long lockdown. SWAT teams armed with assault rifles went room to room in every building on campus, methodically searching before students were released in groups.
From the very beginning, the response to this incident by our own police department on campus was quick and firm.
She sent a text that, "Dad, there's a shooter on campus. I'm in a closet. Love you in case something happens."
Keith Russell hopped in his car, drove to the Cleveland campus to find out if his daughter was okay.
There's a lot of concerned parents like myself. They just want to know their kids are safe.
We want our parents of our students and their friends and loved ones to know that this campus is safe.
That was Ross Adams reporting. As you can see, police evacuated students from the Delta State campus this morning. They went door to door, making sure they were all out, then sending many of them to the campus Coliseum to wait. 16 WAPT's Scott Simmons is also live in Cleveland tonight. Scott, what are you hearing from students there?
Still a stunned campus here at Delta State that remains on lockdown tonight. Local, state, and federal authorities still keeping a lookout in case the suspect does reappear. A lot of people still coming to grips not only with the life that was taken here on campus, but also because of the person believed to have pulled the trigger. It took only a few minutes for this small college campus to go into high alert.
It was just have your mind wondering, like, what's going on, because they weren't telling us anything.
It wasn't no good feeling. I knew something bad happened, though, but it wasn't no good feeling being locked down.
Parents worried about their kids on campus. Students trying to understand what went wrong.
Lock the door, put all the tables in front of the door, and just lock everything up. Someone tried to get in at some point. We didn't know what it was.
Classroom buildings were placed on lockdown. The chaotic morning pushed into the evening as investigators revealed their suspect was 45-year-old Shannon Lamb, a professor in the social sciences department at Delta State. He is believed to have killed Amy Prentice on the coast at Gaucher and then traveled straight to Delta State to kill Ethan Schmidt.
Nice guy. You know, just I hope it wasn't him.
Cameron Montgomery is a fellow teacher at Delta State who says he knew Shannon Lamb, but didn't know he was capable of doing what authorities say he did.
When you heard his name being mentioned as a suspect,
said it couldn't be him. Couldn't be him.
Stand by.
The campus remains on lockdown here tonight, and classes are canceled tomorrow. Counselors from surrounding universities in the region are being brought in tomorrow morning to start counseling both students and staff still coming to grips with this tragic turn of events here on campus. Live at Delta State, Scott Simmons, 16 WAPT News.
Okay, Scott, thank you. And we are getting an update right now from authorities on the campus of Delta State University. Want to take you live into that news conference if we can.
Been no, Chief?
At that time, we was not releasing that information.
Chief, several people have said today that Mr. Lamb can be violent when he drinks and takes prescription medication.
Do you believe that that's what's going on here?
At this time, we have no information to sustain that, and I can't comment on that.
What are the plans for the university tomorrow? You said there'll be several talks for the students to learn to deal with what's going on. How are you going to help them cope with that?
We early on determined that it would be good to have available for our students, faculty, and staff around the world counselors from our university who are ready and on hand, and we have been invited, colleagues from the 7 other state institutions who have very generously sending some people to campus tomorrow. We'll have sessions at 10, 1, and 3 for our students in the residence halls and perhaps elsewhere. Safety first, counseling second.
Do you believe that Amy Schmidt that Dr. Schmidt and Amy Prentice had any relationship, had any acquaintance at all?
We have no information to show that. As I stated earlier, we don't really have a whole lot more to share with you than we did earlier at 7 o'clock. As soon as we do get any information, I promise you, you will be the first to know.
Students who live in the residence halls, if they leave campus, will they be allowed to come back on campus?
We allowed a window of departure tonight under strict security by our law enforcement officials here on campus. Between 8 and 9, after they had dinner, they were allowed to leave campus and go home if they wished. But they are not allowed to come back to campus until the lockdown is declared over.
How many students do you still have on campus, and how does that compare to how many you don't?
We have around 150 students who are residential, and I'm guessing we probably had an exodus of maybe a few dozen tonight. Most who were going to go home had left earlier. So we don't really know the numbers. Our housing folks do, but the folks who are here are secure, and they will be fed and taken good care of, and we declared it movie night in all the residence halls.
This concludes our press conference. We'll be following up with you at 8 o'clock in the morning for the next press conference. Thank you.
Okay, just real quickly, housing officials notified me we have about 250 students still on campus. 250. Thank you.
350. All right, so that was Delta State University President William LaForge and the Bolivar County Sheriff basically giving us an update after this news conference. And the fact of the matter is the search is still going on for Shannon Lamb, who's accused of gunning down Professor Ethan Schmidt here on the Delta State campus and apparently shooting his live-in girlfriend. Police telling us they are following up leads. They're getting leads and going back over previous leads that they tried to track down earlier. But for some reason, they are telling us that they have no idea where this alleged gunman is, and they are going to be working throughout the night to try to track him down as soon as possible. He's considered armed and dangerous. Should also tell you that there are about 350 students holed up in their dorm rooms tonight on the Delta State campus. There was a window for students who wanted to leave campus and maybe go home to be with their families, but tonight the campus is still on lockdown, armed guards making sure that the campus stays safe tonight. For now, we're live in Cleveland. Ross Adams, 16 WAPT News.
Ross, thank you. The focus tonight on finding Shannon Lamb. Of course, we will keep you updated on what is going on there in Cleveland with Ross and with Scott Simmons. Now, university officials say this shooting happened at Jobe Hall. I want to give you a look at the lay of the land there on the Delta State University campus. Shortly after, armed officers went building to building trying to find the trigger man. Authorities tonight are looking for a 2011 black Dodge Avenger. Looks similar to this one. It has a Stone County license plate. That tag number STF015. They believe Shannon Lamb may be in that car.
Cleveland is about a 2-hour drive north from Jackson. Now police believe Lamb shot and killed a woman he was living with there in Gaucher, 300 miles south of Delta State. That's where we find 16 WAPTs and Parker live tonight.
Gaucher police say the investigation is still ongoing at this home in South Gaucher, where they found 41-year-old Amy Prentice dead this morning. Detectives say they believe the suspect in her murder, Shannon Lamb, is also related to the shooting at Delta State earlier today. Police say they received a call this morning around 10 that a shooting had occurred at the home on Santa Cruz Street, where they believe Lamb was living with Prentice. Police currently have a warrant out for Lamb's arrest for homicide. He was last seen driving a black Dodge Avenger with a Mississippi license plate in the Delta State, Cleveland area.
It's tough. It's a very tough thing. It's not anything anybody can be prepared for when they get notified the loved one has been killed, especially in a violent manner like this, and our thoughts go out to them, hoping we can safely apprehend Mr. Lamb, bring him into custody, and try to bring some closure to the family.
Lamb has been a geography professor at Delta State University since 2009. JPS confirms Lamb was also a math teacher at Murrah High School in Jackson from 2005 to 2006. Investigators are still working on what that motive could be for what appears to have been 2 murders in one day. Live in Gaucher, Ann Parker, 16 WAPT News.
And thank you. Today's shooting is making national headlines.
After a shooting at a college campus, Delta State University on lockdown. Students with their hands over their heads evacuated today after a popular...
The deadly shooting is one of the top stories on ABC World News tonight. The hometown of Professor Ethan Schmidt is in mourning tonight.
Deb Ferris talked to some lifelong friends in Peabody, Kansas, who say he loved history and loved teaching.
The small town of Peabody in mourning after learning one of their own, Ethan Schmidt, who grew up here, was shot and killed in a college shooting.
Ethan was very strong, real smart. I still can't believe I'm saying was.
Lindsay Marshall is in disbelief.
We grew up together. We went to our babysitter together. We celebrated all of our birthdays and Halloweens and everything together. All of us did as a class.
She says Ethan Schmidt was smart, kind, and caring. He grew up in Peabody, graduated from high school, and went on to KU, landing jobs teaching history at Texas Tech and most recently Delta State University in Mississippi. That's where someone came into his office and gunned him down. Ray Savage was Schmidt's high school football coach and history teacher.
He went the academic side and got real in depth into his studies, and there were days that he could probably out have taught me. He was very smart.
Schmidt used his love of history to publish this book recently, Native Americans in the American Revolution. Marshall says she will miss her friend, a friend she says left his mark on so many.
But we all are supposed to grow old and die together around here. Whether we live in Mississippi or Alaska, we're all still one big family.
That was Deb Ferris reporting. Here is what we know tonight. The manhunt continues at this hour for the gunman who shot and killed university professor at Delta State. Authorities say Shannon Lamb shot Ethan Schmidt inside his office this morning in Jobe Hall. Lamb is also a suspect in the murder of Amy Prentice, a woman he lived with in Gaucher. That's 300 miles south of Delta State on the Gulf Coast. Keep it locked to 16 WAPT News and our website, WAPT.com, for the very latest developments. Now, this is the second active shooter alert from a Mississippi university in less than 3 weeks. Mississippi State campus police took Bill Wynn into custody after getting a tip he was threatening to harm himself and others. Investigators say they never found a gun and no shots were fired in that incident. Wynn did not face charges, and officials say he will be allowed to return to Mississippi State.
Yazoo County deputies say they released the person of interest in a fatal fire. Investigators say Tyrone Grant set his grandmother's house on fire, killing her. He faces capital murder charges. Deputies questioned a second person who was later released. Grant's family says he was angry with his grandmother after she told him it was time to move out of her house.
A driver running a red light likely caused a bad wreck in Clinton. Firefighters had to use the jaws of life to pull 2 drivers out of 2 of the 3 cars involved in this one. We spoke to one witness who rushed to offer help.
When I saw it, first thing I did, I stopped, put my emergency brakes on, and then went to see any aid I can give. Being prior military, that's all we know to do is respond. So.
Now, we do know 2 drivers were rushed to the hospital from the scene of this crash. We are still working to find out how they're doing tonight. Deli slap, a woman caught on camera hitting a 10-year-old boy. Why she did it.
Plus, Miss Mississippi is making her return to the Magnolia State. We spoke with her just as she arrived. Find out what she said.
Spectacular start to the day today. Will we do it again tomorrow? Well, it may not be as cool, but you can see lots of sunshine. Summer weather to return. Find out when I expect that next. You're watching 16 WAPT News. The low of 49 this morning. That number, the coolest we've been since the 2nd of May. Record low 42, so we really didn't threaten a record. Then it got all the way up to 86. Really warmed up, didn't it? 6:44, your sunrise on Tuesday. Right now, we're right around 70 degrees. Very pleasant out there. Humidity is comfortably low, and there is a light breeze. All right, here's what we're looking at that dew point number. Throw this up because when this number is down in the 40s like it has been, it is very comfortable. But notice that dew point number beginning to come up across our southern counties. We're going to make a slow change. More humid air will be coming in from the south. That means the dew point number goes up. So by the time, I think by Thursday and Friday, it will feel a lot more comfortable. And dew point numbers near 70. That is summertime air. That's Wednesday night down towards Macomb. So by Thursday, it'll overspread most of the area. For tonight, though, and first thing in the morning, it'll be very pleasant. We'll start off in the 50s. Very nice indeed. And then tomorrow night, we will be in the 60s. So we're making the transition from really what was like October weather yesterday and today back to a summertime weather pattern, which is not all that unusual in the month of September. So high pressure is moving away. There's going to be some cloud cover hugging the coast. We may even see some high clouds. The front that moved into the Gulf of Mexico Friday and over the weekend has stalled down there, and you can see there's a lot of shower activity kind of festering down there. The actual area of low pressure sits way over towards the Mexican coast. A lot of this thunderstorm activity, when you see it getting red, higher cloud tops, that's stronger, so it has weakened considerably. But this is going to kind of sit out here, and it's certainly something to watch this time of the year. The Gulf is warm, and right now there's not a whole lot of wind shear. I'm not expecting anything, but we talked about that last week, that it's certainly an area to watch. High pressure is in control tomorrow, right on in through the upcoming end of the week and the weekend. The only difference will be we'll have a southeast wind dominating. That'll slowly push the humidity back in, and it will be pushing hotter temperatures back in. 55, clear skies and feeling fine out there. Tomorrow, breeze will continue just like today out of the southeast, 5 to 10. So a little bit warmer. Today we had 86, expecting 88 tomorrow. Then tomorrow night into the 60s. Not as cool, but that is still nice. But by the time we head towards the end of the week and high school football, much more humid. Those lows upper 60s to right around 70, and the highs back up in the 90s. It looks like this kind of a pattern should go on for next 7 to 14 days, so the next week or two.
Throughout September. I mean, it's not that unusual.
It is, and going to be dry again, too. Yeah. So
we're getting used to that.
That's an ongoing theme, isn't it?
Absolutely. Okay, David, thanks. When we come back, we're announcing our Blitz 16 Player of the Week candidates. You're watching 16 WABT News 10, the ones who watch. This is shocking. A little boy in the Bronx got a beating from a stranger.
A New York woman punched and slapped a little boy, and the whole thing is caught on cam.
When 10-year-old Mohammed Amontasir rode his scooter to his father's deli to pick up some bags, never did he imagine he'd be assaulted by a customer.
She slapped me 2 times and punched me 1 time.
It's indescribable from my father to see his son, getting chased, getting beat up.
It happened on August 19th inside this deli at East 206th Street in the Bronx. Mohammed says this woman tried to teach him about manners by slapping and punching him until his nose started to bleed and he ran for cover behind the counter. I'm told the trigger point was when she ordered the young boy to say thank you to the cashier for the bag.
I told the lady it's none of her business. She said that she has better grandsons that respect her and have better manners.
Not even 3 seconds, comes back again.
Indeed, a lesson in politeness quickly gives way to physical violence. Surveillance video shows the woman going after the fearful, defenseless child.
She scared him very bad. The way she chased him, the way she cornered him, the way she punches him around, and he was very helpless.
What kind of names did she call you?
Like bad words.
New York police are currently searching for the woman in that video.
Kentucky Court Clerk Kim Davis returned to work today. She was jailed for refusing to issue same-sex marriage licenses. As part of her release from jail, Davis agreed not to interfere with clerks issuing licenses. Well, you may have seen this next photo all over your Facebook feed today. 10 soldiers who were also moms breastfeeding their babies. The women who took this photo did it to point out how times have changed. This photo will hang in a new nursing room at Fort Bliss in Texas. Those rooms weren't available when the photographer was stationed there back in the 90s.
So Ray has the day off. Buddy left the nominees for the Blitz 16 Bank Plus Player of the Week. These are the stars from week 4. First up, Cam Akers of Clinton. The junior had more than 400 yards offense and 241 yards passing with 4 total touchdowns in the Arrows win over Germantown. Next up, Kadarius Beasley of Lanier. The senior running back rushed for more than 300 yards with 20 carries plus 4 touchdowns in the Bulldogs' victory over Jim Hill. Finally, there's Jordan Johnson of Terry. The senior quarterback had 203 yards of offense, more than 120 yards passing, and 3 touchdowns. All this is just 2 quarters of action in the Bulldogs' win over Port Gibson. As always, here is how you vote for the Player of the Week. You can call 601-923-1986 and follow the instructions, or you can head over to bankplus.net and click on the Vote Now button located on the homepage. Voting closes at noon on Wednesday, and the winner will be announced Wednesday night during the newscast. And the AP rankings are out, and the Ohio State Buckeyes held on to their #1 spot. Behind them are the Alabama Crimson Tide at #2. Georgia is the only other SEC team in the top 10 at #7. LSU, who defeated MSU Saturday, is #13, and Ole Miss jumped to #15 following their second straight 70-plus point game. The Rebels will face #2 Alabama this weekend. MSU fell out of the top 25 after their home loss to LSU. Miss Mississippi Hannah Roberts is back home tonight.
Yeah, after that incredible first runner-up finish in the Miss America pageant. Friends and fans greeted Hannah at the airport this evening. She won $30,000 for her performance in swimsuit, talent, and evening gown. She told us her first priority was to eat some of that cookie and then catch up on some sleep.
That was my overall goal, to get to play violin on national television. So I was just so extremely proud of that moment.
Your reaction to being first runner-up?
Also a very big reaction. At that point, you really just want to hear your name, whether you're 4th alternate or even the winner. You just want to hear your state and your name. So that was a big, exciting moment for me as well.
Roberts has big plans. She'll start medical school at UMMC next fall after her year as Miss Mississippi is over. We do have some breaking news right now. We want to go live to our own Scott Simmons in Cleveland. We believe we have more on a possible sighting of the suspect in the murder of that university professor. Scott.
Yeah, some breaking news to tell you about here at Delta State's campus. Shortly after 10 o'clock, about a dozen police officers, local, state, and federal authorities, I believe, went rushing out towards the Greenville area. My sources say that the suspect, Shannon Lamb, was spotted by a Greenville police officer, that there was a traffic stop, and reportedly during that traffic stop, the suspect, Shannon Lamb, fled the scene on foot. So again, authorities now on the hunt for Shannon Lamb in the Greenville area. He's the person, of course, suspected of killing the woman in Gaucher and then the university professor here at Delta State. That's the latest from Cleveland, Mississippi. Now back to you.
Okay, Scott, thank you. Obviously, this is a huge breaking development. Authorities possibly on foot searching for Shannon Lamb right now. We'll keep you updated on WAPT.com and on 16 WAPT News this morning at 4:30. David.
Sounds like an all-night manhunt coming
Absolutely.
up. We got beautiful weather. Skies will start off clear in the 50s, moderating temperatures. Oh boy, it's been so nice. But summer-like temperatures return. No rain, though.
All good things must come to an end. Yes. These cool weathers. Okay, David, thank you.
That does it for us.
And remember, keep it here at 16 WAPT News, WAPT.com, and our morning show for the latest developments from Cleveland. Good night.